If you read the Quran, out of Abraham, who did the Lord say, tell Abraham who the chosen people would be?
The chosen people?
Yes,
The Jews.
right. Which come out of whose seed?
Isaac.
Oh, okay, good. Very good. So,
And our Lord Yahweh shall I be able to give you this the way he gave it to me. Con? Question. No, before we do that, go to Revelations real quick. Revelations 2 and 9. I want you to read that real slow for me.
Revelations chapter 2 and verse 9. I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
Now, I think I'm in a room with a bunch of scholars here, right? Okay? Now, what is the most important statement in this scripture?
But thou art rich.
Say it again.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. How many of you believe that, though?
I believe that.
Now, you believing it in hearsay, or you believing it in action?
Spirit.
Because when I first came into the truth, you know what the #1 term was when you ran into a brother? Ben, you're going to remember this. Say, shalom, brother, how you doing? Catching hell, man. Remember that? I'm catching hell, man. But if you constantly repeating negativity, what is going to be in your life?
Not vibration. Catching hell.
So when the Most High said, thou art rich, if you constantly thinking you're poor, what are you going to be? See, the Most High says the renewing of your mind. Solomon was rich. Based off what? Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that he was meant to be rich. But you know what we do? We frown on anybody that is in Israel that is rich. They wicked as hell. They got to be, no, brother. You're supposed to be rich. You are a replica of who? The Mashiach. He's the master of everything. He said that all things would bow down to him. All things. Angels, everything. So now, read the opening statement for me. You got it right here. That top. So this is the renewing of your mind. Okay? Read the top for me.
Everything begins with a thought.
Everything begins with a thought, man. Every single thing begins with a thought. And I want you to hold on to this because Yahweh Shai even told you this. So if you're walking around with a thought in your mind based on how you were prior to you came into the truth, and the only thing you did was take off the street clothes and put on garments, but you still got that thought of the man that was in the world, how have you renewed your mind? Everything starts with a thought, whether it's going to be positive or negative. Read that statement again.
Everything begins with a thought. Thoughts leads to action.
Whether they are positive or negative. Read.
Which lead to the result of those actions.
Whether they are positive or negative. Read.
Made manifest in your life.
So when you examine your life, Where you at right now is a manifestation of your thoughts. If you're not happy, it's a manifestation of the things that you have allowed to enter into your life based off your thought. That's why the renewing of your mind is way deeper than we ever thought it was. So we're going to deal with that tonight. Cut? Let's go to the book of Ephesians, chapter 4. Ephesians chapter 4, and let's start at the 17th verse.
Ephesians chapter 4 and verse 17. This I say therefore, and testify in Yahushua, that ye henceforth walk, not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their mind.
Right, he says, this I say therefore, and testify. This is what Paul is saying. He testified in the Most High, in Yahushua, that ye henceforth walk not as others, Gentiles walk, in the vanity of what? Of their mind. What is the vanity of their mind? What does that really mean? Meaning life without Yahweh, in intelligence, frustration, useless, and meaningless. So when you haven't renewed your mind based off the Most High and Yahushua, it's vain. It's useless. So we really have to examine ourselves to see how we really came into the truth of what this truth is supposed to be. I say we haven't. Because the manifestation that is in our lives as a Hebrew Israelite nation says that what we have manifest into our life is not completely Yahushua. Because if we did, we wouldn't have the malice, we wouldn't have the jealousy, we wouldn't have the envy. All these things are created by what? A thought. Saying that what? We haven't completely let go of that world that we are constantly trying to what? Bring down. So if you ain't part of the solution, you're part of what? The problem. So we have to look at it and see how much of this problem have I placed in my life, and at the same time, I'm placed in the congregation. I'm placed on my brothers. I give you an example. Somebody right now in here can have an issue with another brother or sister, and the Most High says that what? Go to them. But that spiritual man don't kick in. You know who kick in?
Carnal man.
No, that nigga. Let's keep it real. The nigga from the block kick in. Oh, let me call up so-and-so. I don't believe he said that. No, but you got on the garment. You got the Hebrew name. You even speaking some Hebrew that you memorized. Huh? But yet, you ain't doing what the Mashiach said to do. Have you renewed your mind? Or you got to preside, you know, there's this outer structure that says that my mind is renewed when I'm in front of you. But when I step away from you, I'm just a nigga with a garment on. Read that again.
This I say therefore, and testify in the Lord Yahushua, that ye henceforth walk, not as other Gentiles walk, in the vanity of their minds.
So how they are walking is not according to the Mashiach. They are holding all these things that are against the Most High. But guess what? If you're not doing what the Mashiach requires, then you're walking with the Gentiles. See, how can you be an antichrist and be of Christ? When you say someone is an antichrist, you're saying that what? They're against the workings of who? Christ. Now, if you're not doing what Christ has required you to do, then you're what? So he says to go to your brother before the sun go down to work out the agreements with you, but yet you wait to go home and call somebody on the phone that ain't the brother or sister that offended you, per se. Then you are what? But yeah, we got more problems with the nations, but not looking at the problems that are with us. There's warnings in the scriptures. He says, start where? In the house. I ain't worried about what Esau can do. I'm worried about the one that can kill not only the body, but the soul. Y'all better get on board, man. Because if you don't renew your mind today, you hope that you have a soul and spirit left tomorrow in order for your mind to be renewed. You ain't guaranteed a seat. He said, you might receive the promise after you have done the will of the Most High. Okay? Read on.
Verse 18.
Go ahead.
Having the understanding darkened.
Having your understanding darkened. Read that note on understanding on Ephesians 4:18.
Understanding darkened, meaning continues the idea of a futile thought life.
A futile thought. You continuing the idea of who you were before you came into the truth, but you added scriptures to it. You ain't changed. You still that player that you were back in the 80s. You found the scripture said I can have multiple wives. So now you're a player with scriptures. Huh? Don't hate me because I tell you the truth. Read that meaning again, man.
Continues the idea of a futile thought life.
A futile thought life. Continuing the idea of a thought that you had prior to you coming into this, but your mind was supposed to be renewed. He said a thought. Everything begins with a thought. Okay? So when the scripture says, having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High. Why? Because you're still continuing in the idea of how you think things are supposed to be. How many of you believe that the word of the Most High evolves? Can you keep the Most High in a box? So if the word of the Most High evolves, then those that are living by the word have to do what? But what happens when someone gets comfortable with the way that they perceive things, their thought? What happens? Then they trying to hold the Most High back. Okay? Then you start hearing, oh, they teaching doctrines. Because they refuse to what? Evolve with the Most High based off their thought. Okay? There's a lot of things we learned in the beginning, but as we grew, we understood that it was much deeper than what we first thought. We all in here study, right? How many of you have highlighted a couple of scriptures, right? Say 8 months ago, Spirit had you to go and you started reading that same book, and you got to a point where you didn't highlight. You're like, whoa! I didn't see that before. It wasn't meant for you to see that. You had to have experiences. You had to go through things in order for the Most High to open certain things up to you. He evolves because he requires you to what? That's the renewing of what? Your mind. He said those that have been taught must do what?
Be retaught.
Must be retaught. Why? Because the Most High evolves. Read 18 again, man. How we doing? Read 18.
Having the understanding darkened, being alienated from the life of the Most High through the ignorance that is in them.
Through the ignorance that is in them. All of us have a certain level of ignorance. Ignorance only means that you don't know. But when it is brought to you, Ignorance becomes stupidity when you don't take heed to what is being brought to you. The Most High said, that's a fool. Fool hateth instructions. Okay? This is not what I'm saying. This is what it says in Proverbs. It said a fool hates instruction. You're ignorant when you don't know, but when it's brought to you, if you got that futile mind, you're like, nah, dude, nah, I don't see that. I don't see that. Because you're stuck on what you feel comfortable with. But the Most High says, my thoughts are not yours, neither are my ways. You know what one of my prayers are? I say, Most High, give me the strength to handle what you have decided for my life. Because you know what? Each and every one of us got something in our life that we're holding on to that the Most High is trying to get us to let go of. And you want to know what? That is stopping your growth. See, sometimes we keep things in our lives that the Most High said get rid of. But we're trying to hold on to for dear life because we feel like we can't move on without it. But the Most High is trying to show you, if you let go of this here, I can show you the promise that is meant for you. We're stuck in a thought. That's why you got to renew your mind. Cut? Read on, man.
Because of the blindness of their heart.
Because of the blindness of their heart. Now, what does your heart represent, scholars? Your what? Your mind. This is happening because the blindness that is in your mind. You don't want to see what the Most High have for you. You want to hold on to what you think you need. What you desire. Your desire is not necessarily what the Most High desires. That's why Christ says, pick up the cross and follow me. So you can pretend that you're following Yahweh Shai, but your life is going to be a replica of whether you're doing it or not. See, I always felt like I was supposed to be rich. I just didn't understand how the hell I was going to get it. Anybody know me? No, this is something I always say, man. I was supposed to be poor. I'm like, I don't supposed to be poor. I refuse to have that concept, that thought. Because this right here is the greatest knowledge on the planet Earth, and I'm holding on to it. Why in the hell am I poor? Even during the time of our captivity, the Most High preserved this word by great men, and they were rich. They wasn't bums begging. So why in the hell am I supposed to be a bum in captivity? It's the thought process, man. Don't you know if you think something long enough, that is what you will become? Mind over matter. We're going to get there tonight. Ephesians 4:19, read that.
Who being time past feeling have given themselves over unto lasciviousness, to work all uncleanness with greediness.
That's a mindset. You trying to hustle in the truth. How the hell are you trying to hustle your brothers in the truth? Huh? That's a prime example of someone that haven't changed their lifestyle, but yet they're coming to you in a holy attire. We got that in Israel, huh? Read.
Verse 20. But ye have not so learned Yahushua.
Read on.
But so, if so be that ye have heard him and have been taught by him as the truth is in Yahushua.
Read.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man.
See, now this is the problem. The former conversation of the old man. Let's be real. Can we be real? Can we be 100 right now? What is our conversation? A war. What is the conversation?
She got a big butt.
I wasn't expecting that one. That's that That's that real old man. What's that conversation, man?
Conduct, like the way we used to move back in the world.
The conversation is always about where we came from.
Came from the hood.
You know, even in the truth. Our conversation is all about where we originated from. Holding on to that like it's golden, but not looking forward to see how much promise is ahead of us. Those old war stories. So that's the conversation of the old man. You're holding on to your past, but not seeing how bright your future is. We all are guilty of that because we haven't renewed our mind. How can you talk about something new if you haven't changed?
If you can't let go of the old.
So you can always tell somebody that has evolved because when they come, they always got something new to talk about. You got a lot of people memorizing scriptures. Hear me? It's the difference between studying and just going based off what you remember. Because when you go based off what you remember, you and shut your spirit down and you haven't been open to what the Most High have new for you. So your conversation is going to reflect the stifleness that is in your spirit. Okay? Renew your mind. Then you can have new thoughts, new conversation. You won't have to hold on to the old man. You can embrace the new man that should be in the body of the Mashiach. Read.
Verse 22. No, 23.
Finish 22.
That ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to deceitful lust.
Right. Because those things that we are holding on to, and all of us have it. All of us are holding on to our past. Hell, I hold on to mine. I'm trying to let it go right now. Telling you the truth. Sure. I was in the music business. Enjoyed the hell out of it. All the perks, tell me nothing. But now the Most High is showing me that I got you out of that to save your life. So why are you reminiscing about that? That's saying that you don't have faith in what I have in store for you. So you're holding on to what you had in the past. We got to let it go. If you're planning on growing and receiving that promise that the Most High have for you, you have to make a commitment, a sound commitment that you're going to allow the Most High to lead your life. It sounds cliche, right? Sound cliche. Yahushua meant it when they said, pick up that cross and follow me. You know what that cross is? This right here. When the Spirit of the Most High is on you, you don't need a garment. When the Spirit of the Most High is on you, you don't need a shield of David. When the Spirit of the Most High is on you, you don't have enemies. When the Spirit of the Most High is on you, all nations respect you by the mannerism and the spirit that comes off you. You don't have to go to him and say, you damn cracker, you Esau, you the devil. You don't have to do all of that. It's known already. So why are you dwelling on that? You're supposed to be moving in the spirit saying, the Most High put some in here for me. I need to get it from you. Pronto. This the job I want. The Father sent me to get it. Give me my damn job. Give me my opportunity. If you don't think it, because see, we bad amongst each other. But when you get out in the world, you're feeble as hell. You don't have the faith. You doubt yourself before you even get there, and that spirit reflects on you, regardless of your education, your background, where you came from. Because I tell you right now, you don't think the spirit is true? Guarantee you, a Vic is easy to pick up from a crook. Crook knows a Vic. He ain't going to go rob somebody that is going to fight back? Because he's a coward. You think I want to go rob somebody that's going to fight back? Hell no. We tough around each other, but we feeble when we go out into the world because of our thought. So you got to separate yourself from what everybody is talking about. Damn Esau, man. I'm so tired of hearing about Esau. You gave him more power than the Most High gave him. When you gotta let Esau be what he is? The Most High created him to do what he's doing, and he's doing it to the fullest. He's doing everything he's supposed to do in righteousness. But what the hell are we doing? We emulating him. Read, man.
Verse 23.
Go ahead.
And be renewed in the spirit of your
See,
mind.
you got to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. When it says in the spirit of your mind, what is it actually talking about? In the spirit of your mind. Anybody? Because it's not just talking about your mind. It says in the spirit of your mind.
Your conversations, everything, your actions.
You have to be a spiritual person.
What the Most High said, they that worship me must worship me in what?
In spirit.
First thing you have to be is spiritual.
Right.
That's the only way you're going to get to the Most High. He ain't walking around here. So read that last precept again.
And be renewed in the spirit of your mind.
You have to renew your spirit, man. In order to renew your spirit, you have to do a cleansing.
Right.
You have to do a cleansing. A spiritual cleansing. You have to separate yourself from people.
Right. Right.
You got to cut people off.
Right. That's true.
You got to be like, look, dude, I can't deal with your energy right now. Every time I come around you, you're talking about negative crap, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes yourself.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the universe to work in my favor. See, I got people I can't deal with no more than 10, 15 minutes, man. I'm like, shalom, bro. All right, peace. Yeah, good. Because they got that same mentality. How you doing, brother? I'm catching hell. Come on, dude. I mean, everybody's catching hell. But what about the blessings?
Forget about it.
I want to be around people that is going to have that uplifting spirit that says, regardless of my circumstances, I'm blessed. Because guess what? The Most High gave me another day to do what I did or didn't do right today. But we complain so damn much. Ungrateful, man. Ungrateful, but yet we point our finger at everybody else. You have to renew your spirit. See, can't everybody come in my circumference? You understand me? Can't everybody come into my circle? I have a circle. I don't give a damn who it is. I come home, my wife ain't in the right spirit, boom. I check her spirit at the door. I check my kid's spirit at the door.
Right. Right. Right.
Sometimes I check my spirit at the door.
That's true.
Paul said that, do you not know yourself? So you got to analyze who you are. How am I when I'm in the right spirit? Damn, what that feels like. Okay, I know how that feels. How am I when my spirit is off? Okay, I know how that feels. I have moments where, for no apparent reason, I'm mad as hell. Agitated. Ain't nobody do a damn thing to me. And if I don't check myself at the door, I'm going to go in the house and have an argument with my wife, yell at the kids. That's why the Most High said renew your spirit. You got to know who the hell you are before you can have people to respect who you are.
Right.
It starts here. How many of y'all want money? How many of y'all want to be? You want to be rich, baby? Yo, she's at the perfect age to get money.
She said,
What the Most High said, we are rich. We don't supposed to be poor. It starts in your mind. But you got to renew your spirit. Okay? How we doing? Read 23 again, man. Read 23 again.
Ephesians chapter 4, verse 23. And be renewed in the spirit of your mind, and that you put on the new man.
See, now you got to put on that new man. After you be renewed in the mind, you have to put on what? A new man. But the scripture said you can't put new wine in an old what?
In the old world.
What the hell are you going to do to it? You're going to corrupt it. So how can the Most High put a new spirit in you if you still carrying residue of the old spirit in you? Every 6 months you're going through the same issue. You ain't learned the last time. 99.9% of our problems are self-inflicted. Because we refuse to take heed to the Most High. You know why the Most High should renew your spirit first? Because once you start to operate with your spirit, you can hear what the Most High is telling you. You can feel what the Most High is telling you. And when the Most High comes to you and hits you, it's one of the most amazing feelings. It makes a grown man cry. No lie. It's better than, and you got kids in there.
We know. Joy of life.
It's better than the bond that the Most High meant for man and woman to have. Because it's genuine, it's pure. And you know right there, could nobody do this for me but him. You can't get that if your mind ain't renewed. Because you don't know when he's giving it to you. So guess what? You're on that roll again. Going there, damn, why I keep having the same problems? Because I showed you last time. You ain't hear me. So guess what? Here we go again. Sisters, you got to pay attention to what the Most High is telling you. Not every man is meant to be in your space. Not every sister is meant to be in your space. You know what I teach my daughter? That people have to earn the right to be in your circumference.
Right.
That's right.
No one should feel free to just touch you.
Right.
Male, female, without your approval. And if they violate that space, then you have the right to put them in place. And if that don't work, come get daddy. Cut. But your circumference, your spiritual zone, your space, supposed to be protected at all times. That's the only way you got to get in tune with the Most High. This is what you need to do. Can I talk to you? You need to wake up in the morning around 4 o'clock, 4:25. Go into a space in your house where nobody is at. Just sit. Before you even open your mouth to the Most High, you sing. The Shemash is perfect. And then you give the Most High his praise for all the blessings he have gave you before you even ask him for anything. And then you sit still. Listen. Listen. In the beginning, you ain't going to hear nothing but whatever's going on in the house. But after a while, you start to hear that still voice. Once you can tune in into that, you know that your mind is slowly being what? Renewed. Because now you ponder before you speak. Okay? You ponder before you speak. I don't care who you're dealing with. You accept those blessings that come to you regardless of what nation. Now, you know how many of us are shooting ourselves in the feet because I ain't going to deal with Esau. I ain't going to deal with the Gentile. Man, their money is green just like everybody else's money is. But the Most High says that what? I will even make your enemies
Be at peace.
be at peace and pleased with you. That's wisdom. So why in the hell I'm going to go mad when I know the Most High sent you to me? All I'm saying is to Wada Yahweh. Hallelujah. and his check didn't bounce. Cut? If we're not willing to receive what the Most High has given us, then you have to accept what the nations are going to give to you. Don't go blaming them. You got to look in the mirror. Cut? Read that note for me, man. Right under Ephesians. You with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Let's go.
A
Come on now.
lot of notes up in there.
And you got to follow the scripture, man. It's a guide. Come on now.
Thoughts create things. It can be negative or positive. No thoughts, whether it be negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion, which exemption of thoughts picked up from the Most High.
Did y'all understand any of that? Nah?
First one.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. Read it again.
Thoughts create things. It can be negative or positive. No thought, whether it be negative or positive, can enter the subconscious mind without the aid of the principle of autosuggestion.
Now, anybody been in my class, they know I always says that what? Things that happen in the spirit manifest itself in what? Physical form.
Yeah.
This is it right here. Your subconscious is where all things lie. Have you ever been, and when it says autosuggestion, I give you a good example. Have you heard a song, you hate the hell out of it? Cut? You've been driving in your car, and Kiss FM, and played it 6 times. Before you know it, you singing it. Like, I hate that song. Autosuggestion supplanted that in your subconscious mind. So now you're repeating something you don't even like because it's autosuggestion. Your subconscious mind is where instruction goes for your spirit. So if you transform that and put positive autosuggestions into your subconscious mind, it goes to the Most High. And it comes back as a what? A blessing. Can we read it again now? Let's do it, man.
Thoughts create things. It can be negative or positive. No thought, whether it be negative or positive.
Now see, now here's the key. If you constantly having negative autosuggestions, goes into the subconscious mind, goes up to the Most High, and when it comes back, guess what it's coming back as? Negativity.
Negative, yeah.
That's why you have to get rid of that energy that's around you. You have to get rid of the thoughts. Have you ever been thinking about things and you just like, why am I thinking about that? It is embedded in your subconscious mind. You can be praying. Did I turn the stove off? What the hell? I'm trying to lock into this prayer, but in your subconscious mind, you're worrying about something that is taking you away from. That's why you have to know yourself. So when your mind starts to wonder, you have to replace that with, I know the Most High. I know the Most High. Auto-suggestion. So your mind get back focused on what it is that you're trying to do. See, we have went away from what the Most High said, the renewing of the mind. You got to train your mind just like you train what? Your body. And if you don't train your mind, then all the auto-suggestion that they're giving to you out here is going to cloud your vision, your thinking. That's why looking into that tool, it's auto-suggestion. They're just telling you what they want you to think, and then you run around repeating it in ignorance. But you have to replace that with what the Most High wants you to replace it with. He said, if you desire something, ask of me. He said, but don't ask what? Amiss. When you want something from the Most High, be conscious of what it is that you want. You ask Him directly. And based off the book of Daniel, it takes you approximately 21 days before you get a response. Now you ain't Daniel. So it may take you about 41 days. Huh? Because why? When you send up something to the Most High, the process is that angels come get it. They got to fight to get up to the Most High, because at the middle region is where Satan and the rest of his goons are hanging out at. So they got to fight to get through that region to get it up to the Most High. Then they got to clean it up.
Christ.
And then it goes up as frankincense and myrrh to the Most High. The Most High likes the way it smells, send the blessing back down. Now they got to fight to get back down to give it to you. You ain't Daniel. So it ain't happening in 21 days. But that's where your faith have to come in at.
Right.
That's where your belief have to come in at. That's why you have to understand my circumstances doesn't determine who I am, what is coming to me, and what is going to happen for me. But if you do not have the renewing of your mind, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to give in. You're going to fold. And then you're going to go out and do some carnal, and there goes that cycle again. While I'm here, anybody tell you go take out that payday loan? Look at the damn payday loan, everybody looking out. It's a rat race. The Most High said, I will give you your bare necessities. How many people believe that? There's no reason why you should be worried about how you're going to pay your rent. How you're going to keep your lights on if you believe in the Most High. But he's going to put you to the test. It's easy to say you have faith until you're standing by yourself. You're looking around. Ain't nobody but you. Okay? Let's go to the book of Romans. Those things that happens in the spiritual realm are always manifest in a physical form. Let's go to the book of Romans. Romans 12. Let's start at the first verse.
Romans chapter 12 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
All right. We got scholars in here. What is Paul saying now? Huh?
It says, I beseech you, therefore.
Oh, hold on. Let me talk to my sisters for a minute.
All right.
Now I just want to advise you. Let me show you how precious you are. Do you know that the first line of education that came to male and female came from the sister? Do you really understand how deep that you had to be in understanding the principles of the Most High? You had to be fluent in the law, all the laws. Because a male child was with the mother until what?
12.
So where did they get that basic foundation from?
The mother.
You follow me? You got to step your game up. You got to be representatives of Sarah, Rebecca. Got to step your game up. And men have to understand when the scriptures talk about the weaker vessel, it ain't talk about it in a negative sense. The renewing of your mind. You got to understand that the Most High ain't going to move anything dealing with Israel without the family. He said the whole house of Israel. Because if that house is divided, how can you say the Spirit of the Most High is in there? Okay? Now read that one more time.
I beseech you therefore, brethren.
Now, when he said, I beseech you therefore, brethren, did he include the sisters in there? Where about?
Because the male is the head.
Thank you. See, he deals with order. There's no exclusion, it's order. Okay? I beseech you, brethren, read.
By the mercies of the Most High, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice.
Now, my brothers, what he's talking about? You present yourself living sacrifice. What does it mean? What is he referring to? Talk to me. Anybody, everybody, same time. Unison.
You have to walk. You have to walk as the Most High call us to be a holy person, and we have to walk according to that purpose.
You don't sound like you sure, man.
Yeah, I was trying to get the right.
Don't worry about it. Come back when you're ready, because it didn't sound like you were sure. If I was a non-believer, I'd be like, I don't know about that. Yeah, talk to me.
From my understanding, that feels as if we walk in the flesh, you don't walk after the flesh, but in the spirit.
Okay.
Like be like unto Christ, like how Christ was the sacrifice for Israel. So you have to be that same sacrificial lamb for your own self to the Most High, for your own supplication.
Okay. None of you were wrong. Read it again. I want to show you something.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High.
Stop. It said, by the mercies of the Most High. So what he's telling you is, what you're about to do, take in consideration what has already been done for you. Take in consideration that the mercies that the Most High have handed out to you in order for you to be standing right now. Present yourself as a living sacrifice to somebody else and sacrifice for you. We're standing on the shoulders of a lot of great men and women. From civil rights all the way to our biblical days. Because you think we'd be able to be on the street teaching right now if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, for Malcolm X, from the Black Panthers? But yeah, we talk down about them. Because they didn't call themselves Israelites according to this book, but according to their spirit. These were some cold brothers. How many of you can do what Martin Luther King did? Huh? I was in college. I went down to, well, let me stop. I made an attempt. Just during the time of the child murders in Atlanta. So as a bus of us went down to do the march, to protest against it. And they said that if anybody couldn't, restrain themselves, don't get on the bus. Like, yeah, I can restrain myself. Ain't nothing to it. Stepped off the bus, man. I heard more niggas and spitting. I'm like, shh, that's a wrap. I can't just stand here and take that. It takes a special person to do that. But these are the mercies that the Most High is talking about. That were done so that you can have a voice. That you can have a purpose. But if your mind is not renewed, then you allow the system and society to make you think negative of every blessing that the Most High gave you. But your mind has to be renewed in order for you to see that. Read on.
Let me say something on that also,
Go for it.
if you don't mind.
No, absolutely.
When you look into the word sacrifice, what is a sacrifice?
Lamb.
No. A lamb is a part of sacrifice, but what is a sacrifice?
Offering?
A contract.
Go ahead.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment. Also, it's something that you give up in order to gain something.
Right.
So when the Most High tells you to be a living sacrifice,
Right.
He's telling you to give up your life that you have today in order to gain the kingdom.
Now, by you saying that. The kingdom. See, we got this misconception that, you know, we got to die to go to the kingdom. We ain't in church. I mean, we ain't the Presbyterian church here. I mean, kingdom is the condition played out on earth. Now, the kingdom that we can have right now ain't going to be like the kingdom that we're going to have in the kingdom.
Right.
But we ain't got to be struggling. Okay? Because Yahushua said that, you know, they told him that the kingdom, they was looking low. And he said, no, the kingdom is where?
And you.
In you. So if the kingdom is you, it has to be where?
In your mind.
You have to already feel like I'm in the kingdom. Based off the blessing that the Most High have, based off the knowledge I have, there's nothing on this earth that I can't attain if I desire to have it in righteousness. But if you don't think that, you think I'm in hell. Catching hell, damn devil, always taken from me. You know, that's the spirit people, I mean, Israelites walking around with the book. Yeah, shalom, come on. Do you understand the life that's in this book? And if this life is not in you, then how can you be in Yahushua? He's a moving spirit. What do they say about wisdom? What do they say about wisdom, huh?
Me?
Yeah.
I still want to go back and say something about the sacrifice stuff.
Alright, so go back and say something about the sacrifice and I'll speak on wisdom.
Yeah, so the first sacrifice, I understand both the physical and the spiritual aspect of sacrifice here. So he said the Most High wants us to be a living sacrifice for him, right? The first sacrifice, which was the lamb, the sacrifice, it was a criteria about that lamb too, which is unblemished, raised well, the good herd, male, which was right back to holy. So like, I see the Most High just want us to be like that living sacrifice, as the scripture state, which is holy, purified, unblemished, etc. So I understand what Kabarka said when he used the term, the commitment. So that's why I did say lamb to you earlier, Kirk, as well.
Right.
I understood you.
Okay.
And that's, you're 100% on that. 100% on that. Because that is part of our requirement, right? He said for us to be what? Blemish. Without spot. He said that also about what? About the ministry. That no one can blame you. So we have to take everything that is part of who we are serious, man. But it all starts with the renewing of the mind. But that's why I was going to say wisdom. The Most High said it's the most purest thing. It flows through all things based off its, what, purity. So there's nothing we can't obtain. But if you're willing to make that sacrifice to get it. Okay? Read on.
You said the wisdom. Go back to the wisdom.
We're back at wisdom.
And Kabarka tells us that wisdom covers a multitude of sin.
There you go.
It said wisdom is the principal thing.
You know, wisdom is the fear of the Lord.
And all that come back to righteousness and you being unblemished.
Be like Christ. For sure.
There it is. So now, but that has to be indeed. You know, what Paul said. He told us that, look, you know, faith without works.
It's dead, right?
So we can sit here and talk holy talk, but it's in your action. That's why your mind has to be in tune with what? What is your obligation? You have to realize the sacrifices and the mercies that the Most High have given you in order for you to be where you at.
Also, like, I feel like brothers, when they say, you know, they so-called catching hell, that's also like a judgment from the Most High. Like, he's still blessing you. That's the reason why you're catching hell, because he knows what you can do, what you can achieve.
But see, I'm going to hit you with something else. A spiritual man would know why he's catching hell. Trust me. Me personally, I'm looking out the door like, where is it coming? I know I messed up yesterday. And when it hit me, I'm like, about time. I'm glad that's over with. We can move on now, can't we? Because 99.9% of our problems are self-inflicted, man. It has nothing to do with the world hates me or they don't know. It has everything to do with your relationship with the Most High and what the Most High is trying to guide you to. Because like I said, we got a lot of things in our lives that we're trying to hold on to, and the Most High trying to shake you away from it. But no, you stubborn as hell.
Go back to what you said, evolving.
If you don't want to, then guess what? You're going to continue to have that situation. Okay? So let's finish Romans 12:1 up. And everybody's input was perfect. Okay?
Holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable
He
service.
said, now that's your reasonable service there. You shouldn't even be complaining. And that's the truth. And I stand here as being guilty of that. Because I've been a no-show for a minute. Because of my own battles within my own self. But the renewing of the mind said that Most High did too much for you to be sitting on the sideline. Get back in the game. So it's about the renewing of your mind, accepting responsibility of what the Most High have given you. Because He gave all of us something. But He said that each and every gift in here is needed in order to bring forth what it is that He wants to show. Not what we want to show, but what He wants to show. Now here goes the good part. Read on.
And be not conformed to this world.
Don't be conformed to this world. And what is that saying? Hold on. No. What is that saying? A war?
In other words, don't be too caught up in this world. Don't stay in this world too much. Because you can get caught up in it.
Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Don't be conformed to this world.
The doctrines of this world, the so-called wisdom of this world.
Okay, I accept that.
What not as other Gentiles do.
I accept that.
One of my favorite scriptures, 1 John 2:15 and 16. Love not the world.
So don't be conformed to this world. Why is He saying that? See, we're missing something in here.
Oh, because the Most High said the knowledge of this world is foolishness unto Him.
Okay, read that whole precept real quick. I'm gonna come back to you. Read that whole thing one time. I want you to go in on this now, because there's something there that I even overlooked. But you have to ask yourself, why is it written like that? Read the whole thing.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Right. He said, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed. See, you can be in the truth, allegedly, and still conform to the world. Because you still hadn't let go. This is what He's telling. Even though you did all these things, you got the garment, boom, boom, the whole 9 yards, Hebrew name, you still haven't renewed your mind. You conform to the world, allegedly in the truth. He said, be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing. So if you're already in this here, then why you need to be transformed? See, Paul ain't talking to outsiders.
Right.
Paul Paul ain't talking to outsiders. He's talking to people that are already in the church.
True.
They already know about Yahweh Shah. So he's looking at them like, all right, you need to be transformed by the renewing of your mind because your action don't match the gear that you got on. Your action don't match the Hebrew that you're speaking. So it's a lot of people that came in the early days that never grew, that never renewed. Because they saw this thing as, yo, this is like the Black Panthers. Yo, these cats are radical. Huh? And what they did? They put on a garment, they got a loaded gun, and they inflicted their ideas, their thoughts, their ideology on people by using the scriptures. Didn't renew themselves, but they put their ideas and thoughts on individuals. I'm about to go somewhere. That destroyed a lot of men. But that's the reason why the Most High says that you have to develop a relationship with Him.
Also big Most High rather than men.
You have to develop a relationship with Him. You women have to develop a relationship with Him. What the Most High says about the conversation of the wives. They can do what? He said they were saved by what?
Conversation of their wives.
If your wife is strapped tight in the scripture, she can bring you back on track. So you ain't gonna like where I'm going. It's alright. I love this stuff, man. Hey, this is the Most High. I love this stuff. The Most High said you're supposed to love your wife like you love the church. How much love is that?
For all thy soul.
No. How do Christ love the church?
He gave his life.
Man, but do you know how much passion that Christ had for the church? Huh? Another day, another time. But that is in the renewing of the mind, because you had men that got this here that still had the ways of that former man and inflict thoughts and ideas that made other men ran behind those ideas because they wasn't learned, but they was following. I'm a victim of that. Hey, I ain't gonna tell you something that I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I experienced. I'm a victim of that. Until, bam, I hit that roadblock and the Most High said, all right, you want to be ignorant? Let me take this away from you. Like, what you doing? Let me take that away. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let's talk about this. That's why you have to develop your own relationship with the Most High. And then you can know who you are. And then you can make stands. So, nah, bro, that ain't for me. That is not according to what my father... And if they want to hear it, they hear it. If they don't, that's their business. Con? Are we all right?
All right.
Say something.
According to what he's saying, and the scripture is saying, when you're in a situation, what is the first thought that comes to you?
How to get out of it.
Yeah, but I mean, which part? The spiritual part or the carnal part?
Or the carnal part.
Exactly. Your first thought when you're in a situation, your first thought is the carnal side. But when you're renewed, what's your first thought supposed to be? The spiritual part.
Right.
So when you're not renewed until your first thought is that spiritual thought.
That's it.
You know? That's why we're still working on it.
Lord, no, I'm a work in progress. I was fighting with myself coming over here. There was about 4 of us in the car. It's just me. All right. So what I'm getting at is everything begins with a thought, man. We have to control the suggestions that are put into our subconscious mind. We have to challenge me to always come correct when I'm speaking or anyone else is speaking. I mean, I feel personally, and if I'm wrong, then somebody tell me. I'm open for criticism, open for redirection. But sometimes we are too lax with others that are misrepresenting this. They ain't speaking in the right manner. They ain't walking in the right manner. But we all supposed to be representatives of Christ.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be representatives. But yeah, we break bread, we drink, we laugh, we talk, to the point that it almost become like a social gathering than a spiritual gathering.
True.
But we have to make people become their best, man. We have to make people strive for their best. So if they come around you, regardless of how they act, where they at, when they come around you, they know, all right, I got to at least act the part. But if they're comfortable being negative, saying negative things, come on, man. Then that's saying that you're allowing that negative spirit to get on you, and then that's going to translate to negative events that is going to happen in your life.
Nick 11.
Okay? I'll give you an example. What happened with Connecticut? Those kids. Me personally, that's the Most High's business. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I mean, I know the scripture says rejoice, but that ain't for me. And I heard brothers celebrating. If you ain't got kids, then you don't understand. Don't put a negative spirit into the universe that can come back to you. See, we don't know how powerful the energy that we deal with. Whatever you think, that's what you become, man. So when you put out a negative vibration, then negative things are going to come into your life, man. Now, I ain't saying that whatever the Most High does is not justified. That is not my argument. But that ain't for me to celebrate. Because I'm too busy trying to get myself right before you be reading about me. See, if we focus more on the renewing of our mind, the building of our nation, we won't get caught up with what the Most High is doing. See, the Most High is doing His business. How much business are we doing? So if Christ was to come back tonight, how many of you are ready? See, that's the mindset you got to be in. If it happened tonight, are you accepting?
Come on.
Yeah? More power to you, brother.
I think he was just saying con like I would think he was saying con.
Oh no, you know, some people got their ticket, they know the window they sitting in. You know, they be like, yo, I got the corner seat. I'm gonna see the destruction. I'm ready, man. I've been waiting for this day.
Mark, could I just say something?
Yeah, talk to me.
I remember I was here, and like brothers was rejoicing, and I was the one who, you remember Mike, right? Yeah. I was the one who said I could not see, it was a covered room. I speak openly about it.
Right.
But a couple of days after, when I start seeing information coming in, I hear people like say it was in the Batman movie. So I say, yeah. So I went and buy the movie myself. And when I watch the movie, I see that Esau staged everything in it. It tells you the map circle, and what they call the place? Sandy Hook. It's circling the Batman movie. The man with the mask over his face and the people in Sandy Hook and more. Then Cattleman come hold Batman hand, say it's gonna be a storm. We did have a storm, right? So when I see the movie stage like that, no, I say, that was it. I don't even too care about it no more.
But see, you got to understand, once again, to me, those are the affairs of the Most High. You know, when I see the Most High go to work, he said, hey, I need to speed up what the hell I'm doing. Because if the Most High is working that hard, then my work needs to equals what he's doing in order to prepare myself and those that are around me. Because if the day is at hand, according to what the scriptures are saying, then why are we so damn lax? Yeah, we out there telling the people the day is at hand. But yeah, we can't wait to get back, get our little drink on, get our little eat on, and talk about the old war that we used to fight. That's that old man. That new man is supposed to be, all right, we just got out there battling, now we need to come back here and strategize on how we're going to bring the flock in, how we're going to build the nation up, how we're going to do better than what we just did. We're in war, but we lax. I'm pointing the finger at myself because guess what? If you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the problem. You understand? So I'm not standing up here shouting at the crowd. Look, whatever's going on is coming right back to me. The Most High says his word is a two-edged sword. So I'm not biased. I'm just telling you what I see because I got to get myself back in order. And the first stage of that is what? This right here. Yes, sir.
I was one of the brothers that was up in here rejoicing or what happened up in Sandy Hook, Connecticut. Why? Because they've been rejoicing over us for many, many years. Over 400 or 500 years they've been rejoicing over our plight. And you never see them come out and say, we're going to do this about it, we're going to do that about it.
But see, the bottom line is, and look, you're totally, what's the word I'm trying to find? You have that right to feel the way you want to feel. Can't knock that. Can't knock that. What you got to understand is, it's a difference between us and them. See, that's part of conforming to the world. Because if you're going to do what they did, then you're no better than they are. That is not who Yahushua is. See, that's part of conforming to the world. We're on a higher plane than that. We're supposed to walk on a higher plane than that. To make the world look up to us, not make the world look at us like we're them. We're not them. And you got to understand that they are righteous in wickedness. We're just wicked in wickedness. We don't expect them to be righteous. And that's our problem. We're expecting them to be righteous when the Most High created them to be wicked, and they're doing it to the 100%. He created us to be righteous. And what are we doing? We're conforming to what? To their thoughts, their ways. But yet we think we're right because just what you said. That's the condition of the mind. Yes, sir. Go for it.
This is in the Apocrypha, who have the Apocrypha with you. This is on 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 13.
Ooh, I like that.
Verse what?
13.
It says, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished and when.
Read above that one time. Go up a little higher. Come on down.
How high?
Yeah, read the 5th and come down. Read the 5th and come down. Now, this is good stuff.
This is good stuff.
Verse we can 5. Actually start from the top, but read from the 5th.
2nd Ezra 9 and 5.
Go ahead.
For like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
See, that goes to manifest. Meaning what? Whatever happens in the spiritual realm is going to be manifest in what? A physical form. Go ahead.
Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs. And every one that shall be saved, and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils.
Right. That's a mouthful right there. See, that's what we're supposed to be concentrating on. Our faith, our belief, our works. Because these perils are coming, man. This is real. This ain't, you know, just something that's put in a book. This is real. Go ahead.
And shall see my salvation in my land, and within my borders. For I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. Then shall they be in a pitiful case, which have now abused my ways.
Say what? They did what?
They have abused my ways. And they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments.
Go ahead.
For such as in their life have received benefits.
See, that's the problem. That goes back to those mercies. And such in their life have received benefits. Go ahead.
And have not known me.
But have not known him. Because what? The blindness that is in their mind. Their works haven't shown their what? They don't acknowledge him. Read on.
And they that have loathed my law, while they yet had liberty.
See, when they had the opportunity to ask for repentance, to acknowledge the Most High, they didn't. Opportunity and chance happen for everybody, man. Read.
And when as yet a place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death.
So after what?
After death.
Now you dead already. He said you're going to know it after death. So that's telling you what? There's a couple of things that's happening here. One, the body has went back to the soil. The spirit and went before the Most High. And your soul is about to be judged. Do you understand how deep that is? He said, don't worry about what a man can do to you, but what the Most High can do to your what?
Soul, body and soul.
Your body and your soul. Read on, man.
By pain.
By what?
Pain.
Pain. Your flesh is gone. But yeah, you still gonna feel pain. Read.
And therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when.
Read it again.
And therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when. But inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
And that's the mindset we're supposed to be in, because what happened to the wicked can easily happen to us. See, we're not super Israelites. You know, it was a time when I first came in, you know, under Mike, under Barack, under Ben, man, I thought we were super Israelites. Anything, nothing can happen to us. But time has shown that, guess what? Even Israelites can get touched. Even Israelites can die. So you need to be worried more about how the righteous can be saved versus how the wicked is being punished. That's the Most High's business. Whatever they did, they didn't do it to me, they did it against the Most High. But it takes the mindset. That's why we got to renew our mind, because we're stopping our blessings because of the fact of our anger. When what the Most High prophesied in the book of Deuteronomy, that this is going to be our condition. Accept it. It ain't nothing you're going to do to change it. The Most High said this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to go to slavery, you're going to be sold, you're going to go to him for the want of all things. Why the hell are you mad? You ought to be glad that the Most High showed you that so you can realize it ain't me. It ain't because I'm inferior. It's not because I'm uneducated. It's because we broke the law of the Most High. But then he gave me a way out. He said, yo, guess what? They can lock me in a 2x4, but as long as I got this, Let me show you how powerful the mind is. When they brought us over here in slavery, what was the 3 tribes that they had on the ship?
Judah, Benjamin, and half of Levi.
Who?
Judah, Benjamin, and half of Levi.
Okay. Levi was who?
Priest.
Priest. Which meant that Levi had a direct connection with the Most High. Huh? What was the law that they had passed immediately after they got him over here? To this very day, they still afraid of it.
Nah.
Now, what you was gonna say? Maybe I threw you off.
I believe that they couldn't look Levi in the eye.
There you go. Couldn't look him in the eye. Why? Because whatever Levi thought manifests itself. Levi look at his masters and say, drop dead. Boom. Because his connection to the Most High. That's how powerful our thought process is when we in tune to the Most High. Whatever you wish for will appear. But because we've been disconnected, we have to wait on that. It's a delayed reaction now. But it was a time we went to Levi and said, hey, look, man, I sin. Levi, come on in here, man. Did what he had to do. Most High respond. Boom, you was free to go. They got him over in slavery. Levi, that's why they said, don't look me in the eye, boy. Look down when you talk to me, because they knew that if they lift their head up and made eye contact, even today, if you sit in front of any nation, mostly the so-called white man, and you have a conversation with him, and you look him in the eye, you give him a firm handshake and look him dead in the eye, he started doing this. He do this here. In his spirit, he knows that it's something with a firm handshake and a look dead in the eye, because what you're telling him in your spirit, I'm greater than you, man. I'm not inferior to you. But that's the mannerism that we have to walk in, because you're not going to get respect by shouting. You're going to get respect by the spirit of the Most High. The Most High make things move where we can't even push them. Come? You had your hand up.
No, he didn't.
Who?
I have something to say. He did have his hand up. Brother, you have your hand up?
Well, no, I was just saying, like, I wasn't here when you brothers were addressing, but when you read the scriptures and you see, like, the Edomite babies getting killed over there, you can rejoice, because now you know spiritually, and that's a spiritual thing, that the scriptures are working. Let's get that the scriptures are working.
I'm not disputing that.
So say if I was like I'm celebrating like, oh shoot, the scriptures are working. The Most High is doing this thing. Because those same children killed our children during the Greeks and the Roman era.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that at all. Get the full understanding of what I'm saying. I'm not disputing that. But it's the way you do that. The Most High said all things supposed to be done in decency and order. It's the way that you do it. I don't know how he did it. I'm like I say, he has a right. I'm talking from my perspective. It's a changing of the mindset.
I kind of agree with what everybody's saying, especially Madata. When you really do a little bit of research on that, that was Esau killing, not even that retarded kid. That was the government killing their own people to pass that law with the gun control. So that's going to come to us too. So it's a little deeper than people think it is.
Right, but at this,
I won't say they would say it was a CIA agent. He killed the mother, killed the son, and killed the kids. So this thing is deeper than people think it is, man. You got to study that a little bit more.
And let me say something to Kartazar. I'm Baraka.
Yes, sir.
When he came on the news, it was a Friday. Somebody called him. The first thing he saw said 3 kids died. And somebody said, yo, Matata, we're watching news. Me and Ben was home. They said it was 2 shooters.
Yeah.
Helicopter was in the sky looking for somebody else. So that's why Kartazala can tell it too. I was here arguing with the brothers and said, listen, that was a coward move. You shoot 5-year-old, 4-year-old kids. I don't care which kid it was. But after I go back and I see this information, like me, myself, I wouldn't bash a brother for rejoicing about it. Because that's where it stands. Kartazala was here.
Right, but
You understand?
I don't want nobody. Let me say this.
Just let me finish up.
Yeah, we're going off my topic, but
Just one more point.
Yeah.
You see, even with the nanny in Manhattan, that they see kill those 3 kids, the nanny go in court and plead not guilty. The nanny said, why have a bump in the back of my head? I never kill no kids because they go and find them 3 kids in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Then the nanny on the floor knocked out. So the nanny go in court plead not guilty. Nanny said, why have a bump on my head? Then the news come out now, the kid's father is a journalist in Iraq. Why that woman might go to prison for something she never do?
But see, what I don't want anyone to misconstrue what I'm saying. Hey, if that's your choice to rejoice, so be it. But I'm saying don't allow these thoughts of rejoicement to overshadow your judgment. Because see, when you start to allow that to overshadow your judgment, then you have to go back to yourself to see, have I evolved? That's all I'm trying. Look, when it happened, I'm just like what the brother said, hey, the Most High doing his business. But that put fear in me. That guess what? If the Most High is working like that, then what do I need to be doing? See, what I'm trying to get to you is the urgency of what we supposed to be doing. So we don't have no urgency. The Most High is doing what he's got to do. He's showing us that, hey, look, the scriptures are real. Okay? Look at the tsunami. The scriptures are real. Look at what's happening overseas. The scriptures are real. But what are we doing? We sitting back all lax, you know, and I ain't knocking nobody. But the whole message of this is urgency. Renew your mind. Stop thinking the way you was thinking 5 years ago. Because what was hot 5 years ago, even scripturally, the Most High have evolved. And if you haven't evolved with that, you're going to get left behind. Even Paul was telling you, do you not know yourself? There's a lot of us walking in a faith that we have developed that is not part of the faith of the Most High. And these same individuals are out teaching. And Yahushua walked up into them and said, guess what? I don't know you. So don't misconstrue what is being said, but you have to renew your mind. Bottom line. Let's speed this up because class is about to end. Do we got to understand it with that? Because I don't want...
No, we understand what you're saying, though.
Okay? No. I mean, like, across the board, because I don't want tomorrow is something different. Con? All right, because we here to elevate, we here to teach each other. I'm not no, I'm no expert here. But I'm giving you my perspective, and I respect your perspective. Con? All right. Let's keep it moving.
He's read from...
Now we're going to drop that. I want to show you something real quick. We got off a little bit, so let me speed it up. Go to Matthew 5:28. I want to show you something.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 28.
Go ahead.
But I say unto you, that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her, has committed adultery with her already in his heart.
Okay. Now what is that saying?
The thought of you even sleeping, because you said thoughts bring forth action, thoughts create things, whether it's good or bad. So you're thinking about, in the lustful way you sleep with this woman, you're going to do it.
Right. So in other words, Yahushua is telling you right there that what?
Spiritual and carnal.
Whatever you thinketh, it's already done. All you're waiting on is an opportunity.
Yeah. So yeah, you didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
So that's why I said you had already committed adultery, because you had allowed that thought to what? To manifest itself. That's how powerful our thoughts are. So we have to get in control of what it is that we're thinking. Okay? Go to Colossians chapter 3 verse 8. Colossians 3 and 8.
Colossians chapter 3 and verse 8. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
Right. And these are what? These are spirits. These are thoughts. These are the attribute of that old man. Regardless if you want to accept it or not. Because a man that is walking out the spirit of Yahushua don't supposed to have this in him. Okay? That filthy conversation. Okay? Read on.
Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds.
Right, and this is part of what? Renewing your mind, renewing yourself. Come? Read.
And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
Renewed in what? Knowledge. And what is that knowledge? Being retaught. Being retaught. Okay? This is a learning institute, man. The Most High word is the key to life, man. Whatever you desire, you can obtain it through the Most High, man. You want a job? Go to the Most High. But be committed. Be committed. Because if you're not committed, then guess what? The Most High ain't going to take you serious. He ain't going to take you serious. Okay? Read on.
Verse 11.
No, that's it. All right, let's drop from that. We won't go there. Let's drop from that. We ain't got but a little more time. We got off track a little bit. We got off track a little bit, man. All right, cool. I'm gonna hit you with a couple of more things, and then we're gonna wrap it up. This is the statement that I wrote. It said, "Stop blocking your blessings by thinking success, happiness, good health can't happen to you. You know, get past yourself, get out of your own way. Because good health, blessings, wealth, happiness, all of these things the Most High give to us freely. But you got to want that. You got to ask for that. You have to be diligent in asking for it. But if you don't believe it, it ain't going to happen to you. Okay? Read Philippians. Start at 2 real quick, verse 1 and 5. And just give me just a little more time, because I just want to, these last couple of scriptures are very important. It's for all of us.
Philippians chapter 2 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
If there be therefore any consolation in Hamashiach, if any comfort of love, if any fellowship of the Spirit, if any bowels and mercies, fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind. Let nothing be done through strife or vain glory, but in lowliness of mind. Let each esteem another better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others."
Right, that's part of that sacrifice that we was talking about earlier. Okay? Philippians chapter 2, verse 1. Okay? Read the 4th verse again.
Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others.
Go ahead.
Let this mind be in you, which also in Hamashiach Yahushua.
Okay, drop that. Go to the 3rd chapter, same book. 3 and 13.
Philippians chapter 3 and verse 13. Brethren, I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind.
So we got to forget those things that are behind, man. We got to forget those things that are behind. We read the Lord's Prayer all the time, come? When you go right below the Lord's Prayer, it's a verse that says that if you don't forgive your brother, then how do you expect the Most High to forgive you? We have to put things behind us, man, and start looking for a brighter future. You have to be willing to sacrifice yourself to help the next person. Not as they owe you anything, but out of the true love that is supposed to be in you for your fellow brother and sister. That's that one-mindedness that the Most High wants us to have. It's attainable. But we can't be looking at ourselves as I'm the main supplier. Because it ain't no me without you. It ain't no nation without the woman, the children. And the Most High want us to grow. He want us to grow. He want us to have that one mind. He want us to have that one love. He want us to be healthy. He don't want us in poverty. That's not why the Most High created us. He created us to be the joy of the world, man. But we would not do that if our mind ain't set to it. Because believe it or not, we're still conformed to the world in a sense because we don't think that these things are attainable through the Most High. But they are. Okay? Finish that real quick.
And reaching forth unto those things which are before.
Go ahead.
I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of the Most High and Yahushua HaMashiach. Let us therefore, as many as be perfect, be thus minded, and if anything be otherwise minded, the Most High shall reveal even unto you.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, whereto we have already attained, let us walk by the same rule. Let us mind to think the same things.
Right. So what we have attained and we know to be accurate, to be true, we supposed to be walking in that mindset, man, without any hesitation. Pressing forward to do the things that the Most High requires us to do. Now, I'm going to end with this here. That last note, could you read that for me?
All thoughts which have been emotionalized, given feelings, and mixed with faith, begin to immediately to translate themselves into their physical equivalent or counterpart.
Right, so as soon as you make a commitment to do something and you believe in it, the Most High starts to react right on point. If you look up this word, it's called providence.
That's the word.
You look up the word providence. And this is how it's defined. Okay? Read the definition for it.
Providence, care or preparation in advance, foresight.
That foresight is the Most High. Okay? Read.
Prudent management, economy.
Economy, that means what? Finance. Prudent management, finance. Read.
The care, guardianship, and control exercised by a deity, defined direction.
That defined direction is pick up that cross and follow me daily. Go ahead.
Providence, the Most High.
And that's how, when you look it up, that's what it is. So providence is, as soon as you commit yourself to a thought or idea, the Most High immediately sends the angels to start working on it. But guess what happened? As soon as you stop, guess what happened? The angel stops. So you ask for something, but then you don't believe in it. The Most High said that, look, if you're wavering and you're double-minded, I can't do nothing for you. Okay? Read that last one. Go ahead.
It is said that once you have committed yourself to a thought or idea, the Most High sent out an order to his angels to bring these things from the spirit world and make them manifest in your personal life.
Read James 1 and 5 and we're closing. So thank you for going over. James 1 and 5.
James chapter 1 and verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of the Most High, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High.
Right. So if you're not willing to commit yourself to what it is that you feel like you deserve, and you don't believe in it, it ain't gonna happen. So we claim that we believe in this and this is what we live in our life by, then your life's supposed to be a replica of what you believe. So there's no reason why we should be moaning, complaining, none of these things. We should be what? Receiving what it is that we require. And with that, the Spirit of the Most High, I hope you was edified, and I pray that nobody was offended, none of those things. And the renewing of the mind is a daily process, man. Every day, not just once. It's something that we do on a daily basis. With that, I say shalom.
Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Akam Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh Akam Shema Yasharallah Yahweh Allah Yahweh Yahweh. Hear, O Israel,